Well, well. Interesting weather we're having, to put it mildly. I mean, it's supposed to be the start of the season. April the 5th. Unbelievable. Storm Kathleen. Snow, wind, rain. Absolutely horrendous weather. Oh, this thing really does make you move. Warming up with a gem. And we're going to be talking about something that we've done for the start of the season. Weren't getting anywhere. So we've gone one length. It's an interesting concept. And obviously, I made my own set of one length clubs up. You'll see the video. You can go back, find out how we did it. Um, there you go, no wobble. Swing it slow, steady. No wobble. I can make that longer or shorter. We've discussed that. It's a great thing to have. Really does balance. Just quite simple to make. Maybe show you that again, how to do it. So one length, we all know the concept of one length. They're all a 7-iron length. These are cobras. So this is the 7. This is the wedge. And this is a gap. And they're all identical in length. And more importantly, identical to half a degree in lie angle. So effectively, you're setting up and hitting a 7-iron with every single club in your irons. Now these are the Cobra F8s. What's interesting about them is the swing weight on them is all identical, but the shafts are variable kick points, and the heads of the wedges are lighter because of the length of the shaft to keep the swing weights the same. The shorter clubs or longer clubs get heavier in the heads, and the kick point alters higher up. So every shaft, the kick point is different. The longer the club, the higher up the kick point is. And the reason for this is Cobra obviously worked out that they could really fix the launch issues that they had with the early sets by fixing the shaft. So I'm just going to hit a few of these, warming up. Haven't hit them at all before. Not these ones anyway. Instantly, when I picked them up, I thought, you know what? They don't feel that odd to me in the wedges, but I think that's because I made my own setup, and it just rings. It just sort of rings. Here we go. Oh, aye. You don't need to swing as hard with them either. That's one of the major things, I think, with one length irons. You can swing a lot smoother and get also, you know, you can see there, I like playing my clubs off the same place, and I just move my foot, my back foot. So with this, you know, and like I say, Cobra ones as well, I've got a thing called Cobra Connect. Now, I've started trying to connect my clubs it's an Arcos app you need. I've got a few of them connected, but I haven't got all of them connected yet. So I'm going to need to go back and revisit that, but I've read about it, and there can be some little tiny glitches. But obviously, this is actually a gap wedge, so I need to actually really check the. Oh, that absolutely feels cracking. Really cracking. They are like a fairly soft material, these. It doesn't say that they're forged. I don't think the F8s are forged, but I mean, for the feel of that, that's a gap wedge. That feels really nice. Not hard, not clicky. Let's have a look at the wedge. I'll show you the full set. Obviously, this is a pitching wedge, same thing. 7-iron length. Consistency of length. Again, the look of the ball, very little offset. A little tiny bit, but nothing major. Again, so the theory for one length irons is, well, every club swings the same. You just think, I'm hitting a 7, swing like a 7, smooth. And that feels as good. I mean, that's good because, like I say, I took a gamble taking a one length set of irons. I know I made my own set, but this is something that I think will work for me. Because I'm very happy playing the ball in the same position all the time, and I've always felt with my short irons I was bent over far too much, and you might have seen that on videos. I tend to get far too like over with the short irons. Now this really does make you stand up like you're hitting a 7 because they're 7 length iron shafts, you know. But like I say, with the new technology that Cobra put into these, the kick points for getting the ball up in the air in the shaft are really low on the lofted clubs, but as you go into the longer irons, the kick point goes up the shaft, thereby still giving you the launch, because that was a major critic with the one length. But already I'm feeling every shot, I'm just feeling like I'm setting up like a 7, and then I'm just smoothly swinging, and I tell you, they all feel. I mean, that's two. The wedge, the gap wedge, right? Let's just go right through the bag in order. Right, so let's go to the 9 iron. Now let's just see if we can notice if there's any feel difference. Because obviously, if you've got a standard set of clubs, there's a massive feel difference between each club. So now this is 9 iron. The gap wedge and the wedge, absolutely felt the same. I'm still setting up the same, which I think is genius. This is the 9. Just feels the same. There is first time hitting them and first time swinging them. Obviously, I had a look at them in the house. They feel. I'm convinced that if I shut my eyes, blindfolded myself, I would not know this was feeling any different than the gap wedge or the wedge. And this is a 9. I think you can see with the camera, I haven't really changed my stance any. Still exactly the same. Oh, it just feels. That's amazing how it feels the same. I mean, if you start with a sand wedge, then a wedge, and in any other set, you would notice a difference. So you can see the shaft kick points moving, so it gets the launch right. Let's go to the 8 iron. Conscious I don't want to make this video too long, but there's the back of them. They're not overly chunky, very little offset. So this is the 8. And I think, like, us recreational golfers, we're not full-time golfers. We don't play 7 days a week. We're not on tour. We don't have time to hit thousands of balls. I do hit quite a lot of balls myself, but so this is an 8-iron. So the fact that you can set up exactly the same for every single club, and fundamentally just get your head around the fact it's the same loft and lie. Loft and lie. The lofts are different. The lie is like half a degree on every club. So if you take your 7-iron out of your set, every club feels like the 7-iron. Half a degree is nothing. It's very minimal. You probably wouldn't even notice it. So shaft length's the same. Basically, the lie angle is the same throughout the set. So this is the 8-iron now. Now, it's slightly, I'm going to say, I can feel slightly that this is heavier than the 9, but nothing major. I felt exactly the same. Very positive off the face. I have googled the lofts. Can't remember them offhand, but they are quite strong. So I'm expecting these to go like, modern power bat distance. So maybe gain a few yards. Okay, so everything so far has felt exactly the same, which is good, right? 7-iron. So 7-iron or 7-iron. Now, 7, you could argue 7-iron, it's going to feel exactly the same as a 7-iron because 7-iron loft, 7-iron lie angle, 7-iron length. So this club's basically a 7-iron. So the next two clubs will be interesting because the kick point of the shaft is now up here. The short irons, the kick point's down here. Now we're here. Now these have got one length flighted shafts, which, going by the reviews, are the best ones to go for because of the very reasons I was telling you there. Consistency of launch. Again, honestly, I am setting up exactly the same. I maybe just move my foot back a little bit because it's a 7-iron. This foot back. Honestly, this feels really comfy. Oh yeah, that is amazing. Every single club feels. I know that sounds. Also, and I know this will sound crazy, but every swing I've done felt exactly the same, which is really a bonus, I think, for consistency. Because you don't need to be rattling these to get them to go. You just need to put kind of like the swing that you see me doing, which it's not. I'm not like full out blown. That was heavy. Gunning it. The the mats here, as you know, are not the greatest. Right? Let's sort that now. Have I got it with me? Might not have it with me. I might have it with me though. Sometimes I've got them, other times I have got them. Result. Right, so we'll use these because the mats are not great. And also, I've heard people say when you hit them off a tee, they go like rockets. So we've got a wee winter tees handy because it's still clearly winter. It's absolutely Storm Kathleen. Google it. So I'm setting up the same. Interestingly, one length irons, 1970. A player in 1970 did the Grand Slam of golf with one length irons in his bag. So for folk that say one length are just a gimmick and it's all Bryson DeChambeau, they've been around a lot longer than that. Mo Norman as well. Oh ho ho ho! I like the feel of that. That felt really quite fast, and if when I say fast, I mean fast off the face. Now I have read that when you go into the 7, 6, and 5, They're hollow bodied. So they have got a bit of a hollow body design to them. Have a guess in the comments as you're watching this. 5-iron to gap wedge. How much did I pay for them from Cash for Clubs? This was really the thing that made me go to Cash for Clubs because you know about the consistency of the clubs, the condition, 14-day money back guarantee, and also I'm doing everything off my own back, so I'm not getting any help. When I say like help, I mean like manufacturer stuff. We have approached manufacturers, but I'm not getting any help on that side. So everything that I'm doing, I've got to save up for, just like you. So I'm looking for value. 6-iron now, and 6-iron is a wee bit wider in the sole. So let's have a look. Again, feels swing weight wise, nothing in it, right? Wee bit wider stance. Feels, I can't get over how they all feel like, you know, all feel exactly the same. That is bound to help your golf big time. If you can have a club that all the way through just swings the same. So distance, consistency, everything's going to be the same. That was a bit rubbish hit, but still, even the rubbish swing, which didn't sound great, but it still probably put it out there. But it feels the same, right? Let's try. It's so cold today. I'm actually struggling to warm up, but yeah, they feel just. There's no difference in these at all. And the only reason I'm using the tee is the mat's actually semi-frozen because we're having some sort of bizarre weather event. It was snowing, then it was raining, then it was ice, then it was black ice. 5-iron. 5-iron is a chunky monkey. Look at the size of that sole. And it's obviously hollow bodied. Kick point is way up here now. See up there? So if I get the wedge to show you. The kick point is right down here. And then the 5-iron kick point is right up here. So the difference in that obviously is to keep the flight of the ball the same. So we're still dealing with a 7-length shaft. This is 5-iron. And we just set up the same. And I don't feel like I need to get my stance any wider. Which is, so effectively I'm not changing my ball position. I'm not changing my width of my stance much either. That feels good. Sound. Longer irons, I'd say a wee bit more clicky off the face, but well, I'm very impressed. 200 quid these were. Grips are absolutely fabulous. Like I say, they've got the Arcos Connect, Cobra Connect, and like I say, I mean, I think you can definitely feel the weight is in the bottom of the sole, and there is actually, I think it's like a tungsten material in the sole of this, but I can feel it. That's another thing. Because the arc of the club is all the same, I'm getting a lot more feedback on on the head weight. Right, let's try it. Oh, that's good. That feels good off the face. I bet you this will knock it out quite a distance off the tee. King Cobra F8 one length. They are really quite attractive looking game improvement. I mean, that's the long iron. That is not an ugly club. It's all in all, through the set. Right, let's go back, revisit the. I mean, there's a difference between my sand iron I was warming up with and the gap wedge there. It's about 2.5 inches longer. Now, this could be the only weird thing about it. Currently, I've still got my own wedges in the bag. Now, I'm not 100% sure on, let's have a look at this gap wedge here and my 53. Well, what's the difference in the length of them? Right, so about 2 inches. Yep, but lie angle wise, there you go. So lie angle wise, all the way through this set, I'm basically swinging my 53, which is my favourite club in the bag. Now, every lie angle, even when I go to this is 6 iron, it's the same. Half a degree difference between a 53-degree lie angle and a one length iron, obviously 2 inches longer. But the lie angle is the key to making this set work fluidly, as well as the length of the shaft. But like I said to you, the kick point change in the shafts. Right, so let's go back and let's hit. So we've went through the bag, very impressed. Let's go back the way. See, I'm just standing exactly the same. I mean, this can only be a good thing for me. I'm not playing enough. I'm shift work, so I don't play every second weekend. I get a game during the week, and I can do stuff, but this will make such a difference being able to stand the same as the greenkeeper's about to blast it. So let's go back the way. Just feels exactly the same. That's making me giggle. That can only be a good thing. For an amateur golfer to have the same feel through the bag. And, like I said to you, it's not just Bryson DeChambeau that's used these. And it's amazing that he's out blowing stuff when we're in the middle of a hurricane. I'll give him credit where credit's due, he's a worker. Right. Right, okay, so let's hit one more, round the video up, and we'll be back once he stops his blowing. Just so, effortless. I'd say, obviously, in the shorter irons, with being a longer shaft, you're going to be actually swinging it on the arc a wee bit longer, but thereby you don't have to tank the living daylights out the ball to get it to go. So if you're into smooth swinging, one length's definitely going to help you. Right, thanks for watching. Channel's all for charity. Don't say that often enough. It's Macmillan Help the Heroes in Shelter UK. And our ad revenue, I got a stat over for ad revenue just before we get deafened by the greenkeeper. Every 1,000 views, you are getting £10, 20 pence at the minute. So if you want to work out how much a channel's making, get their view count, and every 1,000 views, times it by £10, 20, and you'll get the income for that video. You'll see on my channel, that's not a lot of money. Golf Mates, other channels, they're not making that much money either. The only channel that's really raking it in is Golf Life and Good, because they're getting like, you start getting 1,000,000 views. That's 1,000 times £10.20, so that'll get you a lot of views. But thanks for watching. Let's end it on a nail with 7-iron. Nailed.